Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Adik-adikku sekalian, saya Andi Sudimas Sulaiman, Gubernur Sulawesi Selatan, mengucapkan selamat datang dalam program Smart School Dinas Pendidikan Provinsi Sulawesi Selatan. Hari ini adik-adik sekalian akan mengikuti pembelajaran hybrid dalam program Smart School. Aplikasi Smart School adalah sebuah pendekatan dengan tetap mengedepankan sebuah pendidikan dengan digital approaching untuk kemudian mengedepankan kualitas dan mutu pendidikan yang diterima siswa secara seragam di seluruh wilayah Sulawesi Selatan termasuk di pelosok-pelosok. Program ini bukan hanya memberikan kepada adik-adik sekalian pengalaman belajar yang baru, namun juga memberikan fasilitas kebutuhan dengan fitur bermanfaat seperti rekaman video pembelajaran yang dapat diulang, trik-trik penyelesaian soal, ujian-ujian serta sarana konsultasi pembelajaran dari guru-guru terbaik di Sulawesi Selatan. Sering-sering mengakses aplikasi Smart School melalui gawai yang adik-adik sekalian miliki di setiap kesempatan yang dimiliki. Untuk seluruh adik-adikku sekalian yang saya cintai, saya banggakan, selamat belajar dan semoga ilmu yang didapatkan bermanfaat untuk menambah pengetahuan pendidikan adik-adik sekalian. Salam kita pada salam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back with me Rahmat Ahmad as the English teacher from Senior High School to Sidrap. Well, hello my smart students, how are you today? I hope you are fine, good, very well, dan tetap semangat. First of all, let's say thanks to our God, the Almighty, who has given us mercy and blessings, so we can attend you here in front of you all to deliver my material conditional sentence type 2. Well, this is my slide for the English class. I am Rahmat Ahmad, and we would like today to tell you about conditional sentence type 2. Well, for the last time, my friends, my smart teacher, have already told you that about conditional sentence type 2, but today I just give you warming up before we go to the conditional sentence type 2. So, conditional sentence type 1 is expressed that the action in the main clause may happen in the future if the condition in the conditional clause is fulfilled. So, the sentence is, if clause use the simple present tense and the main clause use the future tense infinitive object modal infinitive. Like the example, if I study, I will pass the exam. If you see John, tell him to email me. But be careful to use see John, because if you use see John, there are two meanings. See John's, it means that bertemu dengan John, but in the old British, orang-orang Inggris kuno, our slang language said that I want to see John's, it means they want to go to the toilet. Yeah, so be careful to use the see John. Ben can catch the bus if he gets up only. When a sentence starts with if clause, a comma follows. Well, my smart students and my fellow teachers, replacing if, the replacement of the word if with a similar meaning, have a similar meaning with if, like as long as, assuming that, on condition that, on the assumption that, provided that, supposing that, unless with the condition that. Jadi, bagian-bagian dari conditional sentence type 1 itu, there are 4 parts. The first is a threat. Threat itu ancaman. Like, if you that again, I will send you out of the class. Sometimes the teacher, if students is so naughty, but I believe for this morning there is no naughty students watching this video, right? Yes, you are polite students. Yeah, this is a treat. If you do that again, I will send you out of the class. Or a warning, peringatan. If you touch the bee, it will sting you. Or if you touch me, I will hit you. Example. Or if you touch me, I will ask the teacher. Alright? The third, an offer ini adalah sebuah penawaran. Example, I will help you if you like. I will help you if you want. Itu adalah sebuah proses penawaran. And then a promise. A promise, if you pass the exams, I will buy you a computer. Ini janji ya. Biasanya kalau buat janji ini ditepati atau tidak? Mana lebih sering ditepati? Atau tidak? Okay. I promise, if you pass the exam, I will buy you a computer. Sometimes teacher, if you can answer a correct question, correct answer, the teacher will give you a good point, or the teacher will buy you a chocolate, example. Well, this is 4 part of the conditional sentence type 1. Let's check this one, if and when. Let's see that if and when are interchangeable in zero conditional sentence. Jadi di sini adalah zero conditional sentence ya. Kondisi tipe 0. Example, if you hit ice, it melts. When you hit ice, it melts. If it is used for something that might happen, when it's used for something that is going to happen. Let's check it. If and in case of. To certain an if clause. If there is a fire, leave the room. Yeah, example. There is a fire at your room, so you need to leave. Yeah, hurry up. In case of fire, leave the room. So, if express a condition, and in case expresses a possibility, like I need painkillers if I'm in severe pain, or I need painkillers in case I'm in severe pain. Well, now this is conditional sentence type 2. If I had wings like a bird, I would fly fast. Yeah. If I had wings like a bird, I would fly fast. I believe that all of my students understand well about the meaning of this sentence. Okay. Apa sih tujuan kita belajar hari ini? The learning goals hari ini adalah peserta didik terampil menerapkan fungsi sosial, struktur teks, unsur kebahasaan, dan interaksi transaksional lisan dan tulis yang melibatkan tindakan memberi, dan meminta informasi terkait pengandaian terjadinya atau dilakukannya sesuatu yang tidak nyata pada saat ini dan pada waktu lampau sesuai dengan konteks penggunaannya. That's the learning goal for today. Well, my students, my smart students, conditional sentence normally have 2 parts. Normally have 2 parts. Part 1 is the result. Okay, part 1 is the result, and part 2 is the condition in which the result depends. Jadi the condition in which the result depends. Jadi ada berbicara hasil, ada juga berbicara kondisi. Example. As normally, the condition is normally preceded by if. Saya kira kata-kata ini sering kita temukan ya, kata-kata if ini. Example, if I had $1 million. If I had $1 million. Nah, ada kata if-nya, terus subjeknya, terus verb to-nya, and $1 million, I would. Nah, ini disingkat ya. I would give most to you. The result, I give the most to you. So the result is I give the most to you. And the condition, I had $1 million. Jadi ada kondisi, ada hasil yang bisa kita lihat dari sini. Well, conditional sentence type 2. Have you ever heard about Seattle? Pernah dengar tempat Seattle itu yang wow, it's so fantastic in Emerald. Itu in the world ya. Sekarang kalau di Indonesia, have you ever heard about Jatim Park? Do you know what and where Jatim Park is? What do you expect to see and enjoy there? Let's check this picture. Nah, this one is the similar with in the Seattle. One in Malang, one in Seattle Emerald. This one, to give a picture, you enter the room, and then there are so many lighting with flowers, with butterfly, so colorful room with your floor, your wall, and your roof. It's so amazing, I think. And the next, yeah, this is a colorful place. This is not in China, but still in Malang, in Jatim Park 3. There are so many miniature of the world there. Ada miniatur dunia di sana. You just come to Jatim Park and then you can see around the world there. Like Japanese house, Chinese house, Indian house, and Indonesia, especially like this. And next, yeah, this is in Museum Soekarno, Istana Kebang in Blitar. But you don't need to come to Blitar. You just stay in Jatim Park, and then you can spend your holiday there with your family, with your friends. The last picture in Istana Merdeka, but this is not in Jakarta or Bogor, but in Malang. Jadi di sana kita bisa melihat banyak-banyak tempat, banyak-banyak view, and then you can imagine that one day if you are go there, especially like in South Sulawesi, if you go to Malino maybe, what should you do? What will you do? What would you do? Or if you go to the Toraja, there are so many tourism places there. Atau yang baru-baru ini Sulawesi Selatan, itu ada 2 desanya yang masuk desa terbaik wisata, desa terbaik di Indonesia ya. Ada Punjabu di Sidrap dan salah satunya di Luwu kalau tidak salah ya. It is you don't need to go around the world. You don't need to go to the another place. You just come to your neighbor. You just come to your town, your city, and then build up, and then share in your social media, right? And then you can find like a negeri di atas awan di Toraja, and in Sidrap like a wind farm, pemandangan kincir angin, and etc. Well, so the conditional sentence type 2, this one, it is used to imagine events in certain condition. Jadi ada kondisi-kondisi di sini yang kita lihat, imagine the events ya. It is unreal condition. Jadi dia bukan adalah kondisi unreal. Bukan kondisi kenyataannya. Tidak nyata ya. Because it is used for unreal, impossible, or improbable situations. Next, it provides an imaginary result for a given situation. Jadi ada imaginary result for a given situation. The next, it describes situation in the present. It describes situation in the present. Jadi ini menggambarkan situasi yang terjadi pada kondisi present. But it is not real. Tetapi itu tidak nyata. Like this example. If I were a bird. If I were a bird, I would fly around the world. Ya, untungnya kita ini bukan binatang burung ya. If I were a bird, I would fly around the world. Jadi, jika saya adalah seekor burung, saya akan terbang mengelilingi dunia. Atau yang kedua, if my mother were a teacher, give underline ya. Saya mau garis bawahi ini kata were-nya, karena ini sering sekali muncul. Dengan kata would-nya. If I were a bird, I would fly around the world. Terus fly ini, I would fly diikuti dengan verb one ya. Around the world. Atau base verb. If my mother were a teacher, I would ask her to help me with my homework. Maybe if your mother, if your teacher, if your father as a teacher, and then you are a student, sometimes you ask your mom, your daddy to help me, mom, help me, daddy, to ask my question, to answer my homework. It's so difficult. So you ask your mommy to help you. Anyone like that? I believe no, yeah. Okay. The third one, if we had time, we would visit our friends. If we had times, we would. Ada kata would-nya lagi, visit. We will visit. We will visit our friends. Artinya apa? Every sentence always use were and would followed by verb one. Jadi kata were ini digunakan ya untuk itu. So the question is, what about was? Gimana dengan was? May I use it in the conditional sentence type too? No. You don't need to use this one. Okay. Alright? Well, so all the subject use were. I were, you were, they were, we were, my mother were, she were, he were, and etc. Right. We are going to the next slide. Let's check it out. Interpretation. Kita cek interpretation-nya. If I were a bird, I would fly around the world. If I were a bird, I would fly around the world. Meaning-nya bagaimana? I'm not a bird, so I will not fly around the world. Coba perhatikan, ini adalah positif. Ini adalah positive sentence. Jadi ini adalah positive sentence. If I were a bird, I would fly around the world. But the real meaning, the real situation, I'm not a bird, so I will not fly around the world. Kesimpulannya, the real condition is negative sentence. I'm not a bird, so I will not fly around the world. Okay, the second example. If my mother were a teacher, I would ask her to help me with my homework. This is positive sentence for the conditional sentence type 2. What about the meaning? What about the real meaning? My mother is not a teacher, so I will not ask her to help me with my homework. Ya? Jadi, not it mean that negative sentence. Okay, is it clear? Clear, okay. Move to the next slide. I will tell you that about the patterns. Patterns ini adalah polanya. Gimana sih polanya? Sesuatu itu, bahasa Inggris ini kan bukan hafalan, tapi dia pola. Ada pola yang menuntun kita. If clause itu adalah dia past simple. Umumnya memakai kata kerja bentuk kedua. Dia memakai kata kerja bentuk kedua. Jadi harus pahami anak-anakku sekalian bahwa regular, irregular itu past simple-nya sangat dibutuhkan dalam if clause ini. Kapan dia no changes, tidak mengalami perubahan, kapan dia verb 2, verb 3-nya sama, kapan dia verb 1, verb 3-nya sama, dan kapan dia rhythm berirama, tidak ada yang sama. Itu harus tahu ya past simple-nya. Terus ada kata would. Would di sini itu ketemunya dengan verb sebagai base form atau as the result. Jadi if clause di situ adalah sebagai condition. So remember, you can also put the result clause first without using a comma between the clauses. Jadi bisa kita gunakan tanpa adanya koma. Contohnya kan ada di sini. I would lower taxes if I were the president. Nah, anggaplah kita ini campaign, kampanye ya, untuk the next leader of Indonesia, the next president of Indonesia. If I'm a president, I would lower taxes if I were the president. Jadi kalau saya akan menurunkan pajak jika saya menjadi presiden. Itu unreal conditionnya ya. Berarti the real conditionnya I will not president, right? So I would not lower taxes. Jadi intinya di sini dia tidak memakai kata koma. Karena result diikuti dengan conditionnya. They would buy a new house if they were rich. Without comma. Beda dengan kalimat yang pertama. Kalau kalimat pertama, when used in the second conditional, the verb to be is always conjugated as were. Were, not where ya. Where itu di mana? But were. Di sini selalu menggunakan kata word-nya. Were and perhatikan baik-baik. Kalau kalimat yang pertama ini dia memakai kata koma karena didahului dengan condition. Baru diikuti dengan result. So need comma. Well, my smart students and fellow teachers, we would like to continue the materials. Sekarang kita akan melihat gambar-gambar ini. Look around. Listen to the dialogues which picture best describe its dialects. Nanti akan saya perdengarkan. Kita akan perdengarkan ini listeningnya. So before that, let's check the picture. The first picture is like a beautiful girl listening music maybe or listening something, and then there is a cup of coffee or cup tea or cup of milk. And then there is a laptop in front of her. And the next picture is there is a man to bring a suitcase. And then they walk, I don't know exactly where they want to go. Yeah, like this. And the next picture is like a tree. Yeah, a tree. And the next picture is the stair in the swimming pool. Well, so prepare your note, prepare your pen, and then listen carefully, and then which one? Dialogue 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oke, kita putar ya audionya, silakan didengarkan.
Activity 1. Listen to the dialogues. Which pictures best describe each dialogue? Dialogue 1. You know, Esther, if I had time, I'd write novels. I've wanted to be a novelist since I was 10 years old.
That would be great.
Dialogue 2. If only I had the money, I'd build you a swimming pool. It would be 10 meters long and 3 meters wide.
Oh, I'd like that.
Dialogue 3.
If a tree could talk, what would it say to human beings?
I think it wouldn't let us cut it down. Dialogue 4.
If that little boy were your brother, would you leave home?
You know, I don't like him.
You don't? Why?
Because he talks too much. That's why.
Oke, kira-kira gambar ini itu masuk di dialog yang mana tadi? Apakah 1, 2, 3, or 4? I give you one example. Misalnya gambar yang pertama. Gambar pertama itu adalah, dia itu adalah dialog 1. Kenapa? Di dialog 1 explain that Esther would like us write novels. Jadi dia adalah seorang writers, penulis novel, ya. And then since 10 years old, sejak dia berumur 10 tahun, dia sudah menjadi penulis novel. Oke, kita jawab tadi ya. Berarti swimming pool ini sudah benar ya? Iya. Di situ karena swimming pool itu dia mengatakan, if I had only money, kalau dia hanya dia mempunyai uang, I would build a swimming pool like 10 meters long and 3 meters wide. Itu yang nomor 2 ya. Sekarang gambar yang ketiga yang mana? Gambar ketiga adalah tree. Andaikan if the tree had talked, andaikan pohon itu bisa berbicara, pasti manusia tidak akan memotong ya pohonnya. Oke, and the last is, ya biasanya kalau di luar negeri itu anak laki-laki, dia leave the home, ini meninggalkan rumah ini, ya. Jadi ini adalah number 4. Oke ya, kita masuk ke listening berikutnya. Ya, kita putar lagi. Silakan diperhatikan. Listen to the dialogues and fill in the blanks. Siapkan note-nya sama pen-nya, alat tulisnya, disiapkan baik-baik. Sekarang kita dengarkan listening-nya.
Activity 2. Listen to the dialogue and fill in the blanks. You will hear a dialogue between two people who dream of becoming famous as a writer and a composer.
You know, Manuel, if I had the time now, I'd write novels. What about you?
I'd write music if I had the time. You know, I wanted to do this since I could read. I would compose beautiful melodies. I also would write songs with lovely lyrics. What about your novels?
My novels would be educative for all. If people read my novels, they'd laugh and cry. They'd smile and frown. They'd be educated by my novels.
And by my music, if they heard it. They'd sing and dance. Their lives would be happier. And you know, Fitri, you and I would become famous if people liked our works.
Yes, just thinking of that has made me feel happy.
You're right.
You know, Manuel, if I had the time now, blah blah blah. What about you? Kira-kira apa jawabannya di situ? Berarti jawaban yang pertama adalah I'd write novels. Sekarang kita ke nomor 2. Kita akan jawab nomor 2. You know, I have wanted to do this since I could read. I blah blah blah. I would-nya sudah benar. I would compose. R-nya hilang ya. Kalau composer itu pekerjaannya. I would compose melodies. Oke. Sekarang kita ke number 3. Number 3, what about your novels? My novels would be educated for all. Educated for all. Apa kira-kira jawabannya di situ number 3? Oke, kita jawab if people write my novels. Oke ya. If people read. Itu. If people read my novels. Oke, sekarang kita ke number 4. If people read my novels. Number 4, and by my music, blah blah blah. Apa di situ? Saya kasih bantuan ya, because the time is so limit. If, diawali juga dengan kata if. Oke, kita jawab ya. And by my music, if they heard it, they would sing and dance, their lips would be happier. And you know, Fitri, UN apa di situ? Ayo, saya bantu. UNI, ada kata UNI. Berarti jawabannya tadi adalah if UNI would become famous if people like our words. Oke ya. Dan because the time is so limited, thank you very much for today. It's about conditional sentence type 1. So if you still want to ask something about conditional sentence type 2, you can ask me directly. So thank you for watching today, and thank you very much. Maybe it's useful for all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you next video.